Hey guys, it's Christux. For the first time in months, I have uploaded back to back. Mainly because there's more news I want to talk about. But anyway, Breaking Point 3, we finally got a trailer for the new story mode in F1 25. And let's just say, the F1 fans aren't exactly happy about the trailer. Now in this video, we're going to be breaking down the story of Breaking Point 3 that we know so far, and I'll of course give my opinions on the whole story mode situation in F1. But before we get into the video, make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more F1 content. With all that being said, let's get into the video. So EA Sports F1 officially released the trailer for Breaking Point 3. And I'm not going to lie, it was a huge letdown. We got like a few clips from cutscenes, but most of the gameplay shown in the trailer was literally just one Connor Sport car driving around the new updated Bahrain track. So gameplay-wise, we basically got nothing. Luckily, we will be getting a gameplay trailer next week. But on to the story. Now, if you don't want to hear anything about the story, just click off the video, okay? There's no point in you watching. Or just wait till the end until I actually talk about my opinions on Breaking Point. However, Breaking Point 1, we saw Aiden Jackson start his Formula 1 career. He had a rivalry with his teammate Casper Ackerman, and it basically ended with him fighting for P4 in the Constructors' Championship. Breaking Point 2 was actually so forgettable that I barely remember what happened. All I know is, we got, I think, was it Davidoff Butler? You know, Devon's dad ended up making a team called Connor Sport. Aiden joined. Devon stopped racing because he had something wrong with his hearing. And then they got Kylie Mayrin, who is Devon's sister. And because obviously the writers who made the story have no imagination, it was basically the same story. The teammates were rivals. At the end of the day, they were fighting for fourth in the Constructors. It was basically more about character building. However, now we have a new story, finally, something that might actually be interesting. So shout out to F1 Game News on Twitter. He basically breaks down everything we know from the trailer. So, Connor Sport, which is the fictional team, are now firmly a front-running team with the goal of fighting for both championships. Callie Mayer seems to be the favourite in the team to win the Drivers' Championship over Aiden Jackson, which is hinted throughout the trailer. This is already reminding me of Mr. Lawrence Stroll in real life F1. But anyway, the 25 portion of the career mode begins during pre-season testing in Bahrain, where the discovery of their pace is found. Devon Butler is now more integrated within the team in a managerial role, getting the drivers into gear and finding the best ways to improve the team. Throughout the story, it seems his father, Davidoff, wants to copy Red Bull, their rivals, which Devon disapproves of and wants to take over the management of the team from his dad to help Connor Sport not fall behind and fail. And finally, while Callie is the favourite, she struggles under the pressure and Devon threatens to drop her from the seat mid-season. Devon wants the best for Connor Sport and only wants the team to improve and goes against his father's word and does not want to simply copy Red Bull. So basically, a sum up of the story. The big knobhead of Devon Butler was no longer in F1, so he is now a manager in the team. And he will happily sacrifice his sister off to make sure that they win the championship. As well as that, he is literally just taking daddy's cash and just saying piss off to daddy. Now, this already has me concerned because we have heard rumours about this story won't be as linear and you will be able to choose between which driver you play as between Aiden Jackson and Callie Mayer. However, from all these story bits, it kind of feels like Aiden Jackson's now more sidelined. He's not really an important character, which doesn't really make sense because he was the main character in the first Breaking Point story. And it also just feels like, ever since Callie Mayer got brought into the story, he's kind of just irrelevant. Also, a bit like Casper Ackerman. He retired in Breaking Point 1, came back for team principal in Breaking Point 2, and now he's just vanished again. Ackerman was in the trailer, but it just seems like he's retired. So we are coming off Breaking Point 1, which was alright for an F1 story mode. Breaking Point 2, which was very boring or just completely forgettable. I barely remember anything from it. And now we have Breaking Point 3, which it looks interesting, but still, at the same time, will they actually cook with it? Now, there are two things that most of the fans are saying about the actual story itself. One of them is, please actually make Aiden Jackson a champion, considering in the first Breaking Point, the story literally ended with him either going to Mercedes, Red Bull, or Ferrari. Then, for some reason, EA decided to just make a fictional team for Breaking Point 2. And the second thing is people want Calumet to be actually likable. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think many people liked that in the second story. It kind of feels like they just shoehorned her in just so they could have a woman driver in a story. But the third takeaway, which is probably what most people are saying, and has nothing to do with the actual story, is that no one cares about Breaking Point. People did not like the trailer, and people are asking for other features that they've been asking for years, yet EA still will not deliver. For an example, classic cars. We had them in F1 2019 and F1 2020. For some reason, they just vanished. Another thing, pre-season testing, it will actually be in the Breaking Point story, but we don't actually know if it's being added to other game modes or not. Surely, if it's in the Breaking Point story, it's possible it can be added to career mode. And of course, AI handling, because we've not had any deep dive into the AI and the handling of the cars. Because EA is scared to talk about it, because they have actually spoken about it. However, it was in a blog post, which a lot less people read. And instead of reading the entire blog post, I'm just going to summarize what EA said. They basically said, "We are right, you are wrong, so shut up. And we will try and make changes, however, we won't make guaranteed changes to your liking." So here's where we are currently at with F1 25. Career mode looks solid. The story mode looks kind of meh. The actual gameplay we still have no idea about, other than the HUD looks slightly ugly. And from rumours from the beta, the handling, of course, people have mixed opinions. I've heard some people say it's a bit like F1 2020. Some people say it's a lot like F1 24. I think I've maybe heard one or two people say it's a bit like 22. So we kind of just have to wait until we actually get hands on the game ourselves. But other than that, F1 25, it's not looking promising. It looks like we could be taking a step in the right direction, but we are being limited from taking a leap in the right direction. Because just remember, this game is being published by EA. The Codemasters make the game, EA have the publishing rights. And we know EA love to just leave certain things unfixed. For an example, the invisible bump on Spain, the invisible bump on Imola, the time trial leaderboards, the F2 time trial leaderboards, and for some reason they decided to just remove wet time trial from F1 23, and we've not seen it since. Why would they remove wet time trial? And in addition for everything that's being removed, you know, classic cars, supercars, we've had F1 Life, which was a furniture simulator, F1 World, which no one played because it was super easy in F1 23, because the AI is literally set to 30, because EA want casual players to play, and obviously purchase microtransactions. So I would say don't expect huge things from F1 25. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please do let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And with all that being said, I've been Chris Dex. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.